Hi everybody, this is Deb, and I'm here to do a final flip through of the sewing themed journal, glue book, whatever you want to call it, that I did for our group. You will see that I have a tie on it, which is a piece of crochet, maybe even tatting. I don't know. It's pretty though. I like it. And I personally don't think that it needs a ribbon, but I put it on there in case, or a tie, in case you'd like to see what it looked like with a tie. This is called a gator mouth. I like that. It doesn't bother me in the least that it has a big gatory type mouth. Doesn't bother me in the least. So the more things that you put in here, the bigger the mouth becomes. And so be aware of that. This is the cover. I don't believe that I've made any changes to the cover. This is the back. I did add that to the back, this paper ruffle. And the last time we were together, you'd seen that I put this crochet on there, this crochet trim and that. I added this little bit to the corner. This is the layer that I told you about. That is the small layer. So we went from, in decorating, we went from big, not so big, medium, small, and these are the small or tiny. Or you just put details. I mean, you could even put buttons or bling or whatever. I saved a lot of, remember that my inspiration was the Dottie Angel book. So I had cut out a lot of phrases and words that I really liked to add some flavor to my book. And so those are some of the small items that I have added. So there's this. I made this little flip book, and it's in the pocket. There's a lot of, this book is a lot of glue, has a lot of glue book aspects to it, because I cut images out of my inspiration book, which was the Hello Dottie, or Hello Dottie, Dottie Angel. I'm reading this over here, this hello, squirrel. And so anyway, then I've got this little guy over here, this little dangle, which I already had. And here is another, some of the verbiage out of the book. And I made it into a, what would be considered a journaling card. This book really isn't for journaling, but that's what this would be considered. And it's in the pocket, in this pocket. Here's a little corner tuck, which I don't have anything in yet. At this point, probably won't. Since I don't have anything in there that floated my boat, I probably won't. This is the pom-pom trim. We've got this little dude that we made together that I've got hooked onto this page. I also have this little needle book, which I forgot to put the needles in there because, you know, when you're in the middle making all this stuff, you don't want to get poked with a needle. So, but your needles would slide in here, or they could even slide onto this fabric. I have thread on the back. You can see there's a place to slide scissors, which would go like this if you wanted to put scissors in there. And then I have it magnetized. I've got a magnet on the back and the front, and that way it just Fastens onto your page just like that. If you put magnets on, I got these magnets on Amazon. Make sure that you put them, so you don't want to put them on the inside like this, because when you pull them apart, they are so powerful that they just pull right off the paper. But if you put them on the outside, then you don't have that problem. So there's this page, and this one I put, excuse me, I put this trim on there, or this ruffle. This is the page that we set in or tipped in. All these terminologies. Rickrack trim. I did find a piece. Thanks to my friend Laura, she provided me with some rickrack trim. This pocket has this journaling card in it. I had also added this color, pop of color on the edge. And then you can also see that you've got this pop of color from the lace that I had added to this side. This is the, this does have a needle in it, so this is a little needle book, a scissor holder. This flips open. I put a little notebook in there. It also has a pocket here, which I don't have anything in. This page with yo-yo. This page with some glue book. Some glued images. Eyelet. That's actually over on this side. More rickrack. This is a belly band because it goes all the way through. I've made some tags out of some of the images from my, or some of the pages from my inspiration book. And those just slide in here just like this. We've got this page. I added this piece to it because it was just plain up there. There wasn't anything there. This that was down here that was plain, I just tore that part off because it didn't need to be there. Gave it some interest. This page. All this is the different fabrics. This is the backside ruffle, which is on this page. This is the embroidery page, the center of the signature. There's this fabric ruffle, which shows through to the other side. This is you might call this a collage. I've talked about this before. It's a fabric background. I just glued pieces from the book. In here, this talks about the halfpenny. This is open. You could put things in there if you wanted. I just glue booked some things in here to kind of match with the embroidery that I had done. This is from one of Sherry Payne's books. I had also added this. I really like to add pops of color on the edges, whether it's in a ruffle like this, or lace, or even just a fabric strip, or fabric or paper strip. I just really like that pop of color. We've got this page. I put this in here. It is a journaling card with a pop of color on the front, and it goes into this tuck. Here is a collaged. Here's the background. Here's one image. Here's another image. I just collaged it on top of each other. And here is more lace that shows through to this side. I put a little collage here. This is a pocket that has these cute little images in there. It actually has two pockets, this one and this one. And then I put Dottie Angel on there, which is actually Tiff Russell. I've got a paper ruffle. There's the back side of that. This, daggone it, I was going to put pin some things on there with some either safety pins or those bulb pins. They're also called gourd pins. This is a flip. It flips open, and inside I have a pocket that kind of goes with this picnic theme. I mean, it does go with the picnic theme. And it has a bookmark in there. A Granny Chic bookmark. 99.999% of all these images came from my inspiration book that I disassembled. That's the other side. It's got a little piece of the verbiage there that I really like. Here is another collage. Big teapot in the back, a table and chairs in the front, with a big ruffle here, a big fabric ruffle, and it's a double ruffle, so it goes on both sides like this. I collaged this page. It's not totally covered like most collages are, but I put some of my favorite images on there. Over here, from the applique file that I put out there, I cut that out, put that in there. I do not knit or crochet, but she does. Dottie Angel does. Here's a ruffle here. Here is one of the images. Oops, forgot to put these in here. So the crochet hooks go in there. Got another dangle with a clothespin from the from those applique images that file that I put out there, and a tag with a chair from the book. I love chairs and dishes. This image actually did not come from that book, but that's one of the very few, it might be the only one that actually did not come from her book. Flat thimble, another pocket, and it has a journaling card in it. Another pocket over here with a journaling card, and it has plenty of room for more things. I just didn't put anything else in there. It has a ruffle on this side, which, as you can see, shows through a little bit here. This page has the crochet trim that I have sewn dangles on. My friend Tammy sent me all these dangles. So because it's a Dottie Angel, I've got an angel, cross, and a horseshoe, and some cute ribbony trimmy stuff. More crochet. Love this page. Love this lace. This is a really cool page here. This is my my end page. And the back side As you look through either from this side or from the front side, you can see all the different layers, all the different colors, all the different elements that stick out and just really give it a lot of interest and charm. So that is the book that I made, the sewing theme book that I made for the Primitive Folk Art group. And as you know, I have started a paper crafting group because I want the focus for the Primitive Folk Art group to stay within quilting, sewing, needle arts, that kind of stuff. And so this will be the last video that you see, but I wanted to close it up. I wanted to close out that with a flip through. And then you won't see any more paper crafting from me in this group. If you want to join the paper crafting group, you can sure do that. We welcome you to come over there. We're going to have the same kind of activities as far as we're going to have, you know, swaps and exchanges and craft alongs. So it's going to be, we're going to do the same kind of things like we do in the Primitive Folk Art group, but it will be paper crafting rather than sewing. There's another book that I'd like to show you. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm back. And the only reason why I want to show you this is because since it is a primitive group, I wanted to show you this primitive book that I had made. And the images that I used with it came from Drew Ann Jeffries' Etsy page, and it is fine. Oh gosh, I can't think of the name of it. I'll try and remember and put it in when I post it on Facebook. I'll put it in there. But she has really neat images. So this is actually a I got this book at the dollar store, and I tore it all apart, and I tore all the paper off of it, and I just used the paper, or the front and back cover, as my journal cover. And same 3-hole pamphlet stitch. The binding is a piece of muslin. I've got a layered front as usual with some verbiage. A lady here in the background is burlap, corrugated cardboard. I think that was a one of those boxes that my ink came in. And so it's just got really neat images. See how it's got that soft spine, that loose spine? I love that. It looks so good. I mean, doesn't it look old? And I just love that. And the pages are, I think I probably used that same packing paper. I love that packing paper, and I use it for all kinds of stuff. But Drew Ann has got really neat, I want to say a fine farmhouse, but that, I think that's where she sells her handmaids. I have to think. Anyway, so she does sell digital images. And so basically this is the very same concept. I make a lot of glue books. You know, they're journal-y, but you really don't journal in them. Not in this one anyway. Some of them I have made that are journals. But this one is basically a glue book. It's just got all kinds of images in there that I think are awesome. And so I've got a little bit of stamping. Heavy on the distress ink, as you can see. Here's a farmer lady. I drew seeds in there. I really like farming, gardening, retro kind of stuff. That's my deal. This is just regular paper that I distressed, that I inked, dyed. This is an old napkin that someone had given me with some really neat images on there. And as you can see, this has a, so it's so this page is made from burlap. This page is made from the napkin, and I have just sewn them together with a piece of vintage fabric that my friend had given me. So this is the center of the signature, and you can see here's where I've got it tied up. But that looks really neat. I like that. Another page. I like to have wrinkled and crinkled corners. These two images actually belong to Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. Some black lace. Some more. I think I made this, obviously, for Halloween. This is kind of cool. I think more than fall is the time that I really right around August is when I begin getting the feel for this kind of primitive, this grungy kind of primitive. And love these images. There's a lady and her husband. So you can see there's no place to journal, just all glue book. But because it's primitive, and this is a primitive group, I wanted to share that book with you as well. So again, this is going to be the last video that I share in this group. You are welcome to join our other group, the paper crafting group. And so before I sign off, I want to give you a heads up because I am going to change the name again. Not only of our primitive folk art group, but of the paper crafting group. So I can't do that for a while because Facebook has a 28-day limit. So I can't do it for 28 days. But Julie and I have been talking. She has had a fantastic idea, which that girl is in my brain. She is in my brain. And so she has been inspired with a name that's exactly right. And so be looking for that change. And I hope you embrace it. And be gracious like you have been in the past. So anyway, this is Deb. I'm going to sign off. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.